First, we're going to go to Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, good to have you here tonight. What goes through your mind as you listen to the sort of warning, it sounds like, from Rashida Tlaib and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez towards their speaker?
Well, I try to never get between a dog and a fire hydrant, but it's clear that Speaker Pelosi is having trouble with some members of her caucus. We've known for a while, Martha, that there are really two speakers of the House. One, of course, is Speaker Pelosi, but there's also a shadow speaker, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, and I suppose you could add the other three members of the so-called squad as well.
You're not referring to those women as dogs, just to clarify? That's metaphorical, I assume.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I said you're not referring to those women as dogs, I assume, because somebody will accuse you of that when you talk about dogs and a fire hydrant. I just wanted to give you a second to clarify.
Well, that's correct. Yeah, I'm not calling anybody a dog. That's what we call a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. Exactly. So you said that only a fool argues with fools or something to that effect.
Right.
You know, do you think that the president needs to sort of clarify anything that he said when he goes out there tonight? And do you expect that he will?
Well, my original advice, for what it's worth, was for the president not to engage. Now, I know some disagree with that, but when you argue with a fool, it just means they're two. I've always believed that when your opponent is destroying himself, you shouldn't, or herself, you shouldn't interrupt. The so-called squad is doing a pretty good job of destroying the Democratic Party, which frankly I hate to see. I think having a strong two-party system is healthy for America, but the point I'm trying to make is that if I didn't know better, I would think that the four congresswomen were GOP plants. They're doing such a good job of moving the Democratic Party to the left so far that they're about to fall over the cliff.
It's interesting. They are new to Congress. They're getting an enormous amount of attention because they throw out
a lot. It's more than that. It's more than that. You know, the Congress, look, this is America. The congresswomen are entitled to their opinions, but I'm also entitled to mine. And they represent, in my judgment, a lot of what's wrong with Washington, D.C. on both sides of the aisle. The congresswomen think that they are smarter and more virtuous than than ordinary Americans. And they think that I think Secretary Clinton during the campaign called us deplorables. The congresswomen think that only more government can make America great. Government has never made America great. It's ordinary people doing extraordinary things that has made America great. I'd also point out that calling someone a racist has become customary here in Washington, D.C. I don't think you see it in the rest of America. I mean, I listen to the Democratic debates. If you don't support school busing, you're a racist. If you believe in enforcing America's laws, including but not limited to its immigration laws, you're a racist. If you believe that America should stand up for itself, you're a racist. If you don't support reparations because you think it's a policy that makes no sense and can't be efficiently or effectively implemented, you're a racist. And most of the ordinary Americans I know, they're not racist, and they're not misogynistic, and they're not ignorant.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we're going to talk about in a moment is just sort of where are, Democrats who don't agree with any of the things that you just listed, where are they left in this process as they move forward?
Well, I think they're scared to say anything because
I think you're right.
They have been threatened by the squad and others that they will be primaried. And they're all for diversity. Except they don't believe in diversity of opinion.
There's a story tonight about a trip that Rashida Tlaib, the Congresswoman, and Congresswoman Omar are planning to go to Israel, and the question of whether or not Benjamin Netanyahu will allow that or will make any move to try to prevent that. There's no indication yet that he will try to prevent it. But it's interesting when you look at this question. I just want to play this from Congresswoman Omar this morning when she was asked if she regretted any of her anti-Semitic statements. Watch this.
Oftentimes there are things that you might say might not hold weight for you, but to someone else, right? The way that we hear and consume information is very different than how the next person might.
So you don't regret your words either?
I do not.
She does not. How does that sit with you, sir?
Well, I rest my case. I mean, Congresswoman Presley, it hasn't been reported by many members of the media, but she gave a speech last week. She said, and I'm going to quote, "We don't need any more queers who don't want to be a queer voice." Close quote. I was very offended by that. Look it up. She said it. You won't find it in the mainstream media. Now, am I calling her a homophobe? No, but I was offended by that. But yet her hand is not called when she says things like that.
Senator, thank you. I know you're going to be watching this rally as we watch the president's sort of latest response to all of this.
No, actually, I'm not. I just started watching Breaking Bad, and I'm on the 9th episode. I'm about 2 years behind, so I'm going to go watch episode 10.
More power to you, sir, because I started it after it ended and watched it pretty much straight through. It's really good. So you're going to have some good entertainment tonight, I promise you.
Way cool.
Thank you. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Senator. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you.